Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. So we have a cool charger to show you guys today. Well, it does more than just charging though. And it's made by Itehil, I guess. I don't know how to pronounce it properly, so hey, I'm just the messenger here. We do have also a bit of a diagram on the back to help you out to understand some stuff as well. Of course, nothing in the box. Do have a bit of a manual that comes with this. Okay. You don't need much of a manual, okay? I mean, there's really not a whole lot to know here, but they do get detailed enough that you should be able to follow the little lines, okay? It's not that difficult, so it's pretty cool. Of course, then we have the charger itself. Now, the charger actually comes in this really nice kind of, I don't know what you would call the material, but it's really nice. It's comfy, you know? Anyways. So you can repurpose this for something else if you want to. But this is the charger, and it's got these little forkies that flip up and out because I live in Canada, and for Canadians and Americans, one thing we do have in common, if I can get this thing to flip up, they could have made this part a little easier. There we go. Okay, so when we flip up, plug into the wall, okay? Now, if you don't live in Canada or the United States or a country that has this kind of plug-in, no worries, got you covered. So we have two other types of plug-ins, and it's as simple as collapse the forks, take one of them, slam her on there, and that's it. You're done. Plug it in. You know, if you have the other style, same deal. Take it, shove her down, that's it. Pull it off, put everything compact into a little storage case, and away you go. So we have two Type-C ports, a Type-A, and an HDMI. So you get 65 watts on each port when you're only using one at a time. But when you use more than one device, the upper one will be reduced to 18 watts, the lower will be at 45 watts. And it is specific to saying computer, okay, which means that's going to give you the most horsepower for charging like a MacBook Pro, for example, or a MacBook Air type of thing. Now, in their testing, they used a MacBook. We'll go through that on the Amazon site in a minute. And it took about an hour and a half to go from just flatline dead to 100%. That's actually pretty respectable. So I thought, well, you know what? I've got an iPhone 12 mini here, okay, just so you can see. And this thing was at 57%. And that sucker charged it in less than an hour from 57% right on up to 100. That's pretty good, and I've got that feature turned on where, you know, optimized for your battery kind of deal. It's like charged, boom, nice, I like that. All right, so it works fantastic. So it can actually replace a lot of charging systems for sure, you know, and so that's fantastic. Now, you will get voltage, charging, and data both available through both Type-Cs. Through the Type-A, it is data only, okay? It's not a charging port. So it's for your USB sticks, right? So if you have something on USB-A, for example, but you don't have a USB-A port that's open, or maybe you don't even have one because you won't on the newer MacBooks, right? It's all Type-C, right? Then yeah, now you've got one. It feeds it all through, and away you go. And if you want to go out to a TV or a computer monitor or a projector, you can hook up to any of those that, you know, go up to 4K resolution max through the HDMI port, okay? But you need to be hooked into one of the Type-Cs coming out of your computer or your iPad or your phone, or, you know, I'd imagine this should work for Android devices. I won't swear to it, but it should. And you'd be able to do the same sort of dealie, right? Okay, so as long as you have that Type-C availability or Type-C to Lightning from your phone or whatever, like the iPhone 12 mini, it's still a Lightning port. I don't know why they didn't go Type-C. They did with my new iPad, but not the newest phone on the market. Come on, Apple, they got to get off the, you know, get things done here. So let's skip over now to the Amazon website, and we'll talk more in detail. So I'm going to screenshot that for you guys so you can get a nice clear view of everything, you know what's happening, and we'll also give you our verdict in this video too of what I really think about this thing. Okay, guys, so now we're on the Amazon.com site. I couldn't find this on Amazon.ca. So maybe they just don't have it there yet. Maybe they'll get it there. But in the meantime, if you are Canadian, don't worry. You can get this thing from the Amazon.com store as they will ship to Canada. Not a problem. Anyway, so we're looking at $42.99 currently. Okay, prices can change, of course. Now, the estimated total cost to Canada is $56.84, and that includes your shipping and import fees, deposit for Canada, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so they break it down for you. $42.99, $8.69 for shipping, and estimated import fees deposit is $5.16. You won't get nailed anything else at the door. Okay, I've been through this many times with ordering stuff, even through Amazon.ca, bringing stuff in from the States. They nail you ahead of time when you purchase it, so you don't have to worry about it when it comes to the door with a big surprise. So, no worries. Now, these prices, the $56.84, that's US dollars. So, if you did a general search of, 56.84 USD to CND, for example, for Canadian, it'll give you an estimate, okay, which is, plus or minus maybe 50 cents, who knows. All right, you'll get the final bill before you pay for anything on the website, so you'd be all right. But anyways, that's how you do that. Now, we do have black with a half meter cable, or we have with a 1 meter cable. Now, mine came as the 1 meter cable, so that's like basically about 3 feet, basically. All right, so for $45.99. Now, this was sent to me for free, guys. As you know, I've mentioned that. I'm straightforward with this. So I did not have to pay for it, but I'm still going to tell you what I actually think regardless, okay? I'm not under any kind of thumb rules of, oh, you've got to do this, right? They leave it up to me, and that's fine. That's the way I like things. So, about this item, it's a 4-in-1 fast charger. First, it's a 65-watt PD 3.0 wall charger. When only one device is charging, it only takes an hour and a half for a 13-inch MacBook Pro to go from 0% to 100. That's actually pretty impressive numbers, okay? Now, I have not been able to test this myself. I don't have a MacBook Pro that has a Type-C port. All mine are the old school stuff. Okay, so MagSafes. So you can kind of give it a little bit of fudge room there. Okay, so they may have some really good accuracy on that one. But if it takes an extra 5 minutes, don't worry. It's only 5 minutes. It's not going to be a big deal. Okay, but that's their testing that they've laid out here. HDMI and data transfer. Okay, the USB-C and USB-A data ports provide file transfer speeds up to 5 gigabits per second. Also, the HDMI supports media display at resolutions up to 4K. So, here's the deal on that stuff. The USB-C ports, either one of them, will do charging and data transfer capabilities. Okay, the Type-A port is not for charging. It is only for using USB-A devices for transferring data to and from your computer. So this way, I mean, we know all the new Apple devices, including our iPads. Okay, I mean, our iPads have never had a Type-A. We've always had to buy dongles, right? So this saves you having to haul dongles around with you. And extra chargers, too, if you're all Type-C on everything, including your computer. You won't even need to bring that power supply with you unless you want to as an emergency backup. However, with the iPads, we know that they've never had a Type-A. But we want to get data back and forth. So we've always had to buy dongles. This eliminates the requirement for dongles now. Okay, so you just plug in your charger for your iPad side, and if you want to transfer stuff to and from your iPad or even your iPhone, okay, this should work on Android devices. I don't see why not, because they do say smartphone, laptop, and the word tablet. And tablet usually always refers to the Android side of the house. Otherwise, they would specify iPad, or they would say only. But they're saying smartphone specific. So that's all smartphones, all laptops, all tablets that can actually use this kind of hookup system. Okay? So But the Type A is strictly just for data transfer, okay? But you can transfer data and charging through the Type Cs. So that's how that works. Anyways, let's continue on. Intelligent power allocation. It automatically allocates power output according to the number of output ports being used. When only one Type C port is used, the maximum output will reach up to 65 watts. It's actually 64 watts. We'll get to that after. While two Type C ports were used, one of them will become 18 watts and the other will become 45 watts. Okay? Safety protection system. Okay? Itehil? I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm sorry. Charging wall charger has short circuit and overcurrent and overheating protection and overcharging protection. So you don't need to worry about security issues here, okay? You're fine. You're good to go. Multi-compatibility expansion. The USB-C adapter comes with one USB 3.0 and two Type-C ports, 4K HDMI video output, and 65 watts of delivery fast charging function. And it may meet all requests of smartphones and laptops. Now, if your laptop requires more than 65 watts, it's either going to take a lot longer to charge or it may not work. Okay, it depends, but I've not seen too many computers that required higher than 65 watts. Um, you know, so I think we're all going to be okay there. Anyway, let's continue on, and we'll go down below here a bit. 4-in-1 wall charger. They give you a little bit more info here, a little bit of stuff here. They show you that you get this cable with it. It's Type C to Type C. You get two power adapters for the countries. They tell you about the max output, input voltages, amperage, etc. requirements, blah, blah, blah. Okay? They give you a little bit more information here as well. C1, C2 is 65 watts. Now, C1 would become 18 watts when both ports are used. So C1 is the very top port. So if you plug in your laptop where it shows the computer picture diagram on the connector below, it actually does show you a picture of a laptop. That's where your laptop generally would go, and it would provide up to 65 watts. But if you're going to try charging charging and using your laptop at the same time as you want to hook in your iPad to maybe top it off, or your phone at the same time, then from 65 watts availability from that one port, you've now subdivided. So now you're down to 18 watts on the top port. So it's going to take longer for that device to charge, and it'll reduce your charge time to, or sorry, increase your charge time to your computer when you have both Type C ports in use, because you're going to be going from 65 down to 45. Okay, and the top one will be reduced to 18 watts. All right, so, and that's perfectly fine. They do show a diagram as well here of going out to a projector. Okay, now you don't have to have an actual 4K projector or 4K screen or 4K TV. Like I said, I've tested this on a 1080p 27-inch display with my iPad. I just had to make sure I had the appropriate HDMI cable, which turned out I do have one in my collection, because the one that was on my monitor hooked to my Mac will not work with this unit. However, I have another HDMI high transfer speed cable that does work fine with this unit going through my iPad, is what I used for testing with anyways, and works just perfectly fine. So we're all good to go there. So thumbs up. That's awesome. Anyways, we have the usual pictures here. They show the guy on a big screen thing with his projector going off of his computer. Now, I know a lot of stuff here they show Mac systems, but they do have a PC here as well, so it will work on a PC computer, right? And of course, they go a little bit about safe and reliable, your hookups and what they're all about. Okay, so they tell you right off the hop, the Type A 3.0 data port, okay, Type A, does not charge. It cannot charge devices. It's only for transferring with like your USB sticks and stuff. Okay, so away you go. That's how things work. And of course, individually, each port would be good for 65, but it gets reduced when you have both Type Cs in use at the same time. and of course projection port only, up to 4K HDMI for your HDMI port. So pretty simple, very basically laid out. It works. Okay, now what are the drawbacks to this? Because there's a lot of awesome benefits to it, but what are the actual drawbacks here? Well, let's cut back to the other screen now, and we'll go through that. All right, let's wrap this up. So, ports, awesome. Power supply capabilities, fantastic. Okay, follow the instructions, you can't go wrong. Okay, now, there's always that mark off of any review I do, regardless, and that's the fact it's not perfect. The only other thing I have to say negative about this thing, okay, is when it comes to getting up these forks. Now, if you don't live in Canada or the US, or you're in a country where you don't have our plug, but you're stuck with, you know, this sort of thing, or you've got this sort of thing, well, then you're not going to worry about it. You're not going to care. And for you, that would probably be something worthy of a 4.5 or 4 3/4 for a review, right? But this is coming from a Canadian, and also speaking in advance for the Americans and those other countries that use our plug system. This thing is too tall. It needs to come down 1/8 of an inch of the plastic so that it exposes just enough of the fork so we can easily flip it out, male or female. Okay, you shouldn't have to try and take some kind of a tool or something else to flip out a port on any charger, okay, or anything that has a plug like this, period. All right, so that to me, for my review, okay, I am going to put this thing at 4 out of 5 grand total, because to me that's a big major thing, and that's actually 3/4 of a star, okay, easily. And then the other quarter is just because it's not perfect, so that makes it 1 full out star. So this is why 4 out of 5. Okay. Now, do I still recommend it? Yes. Is it priced well? Yes. Does it work as they say it does? Yes. Okay. And I love the fact that I don't have to carry around a boatload of dongles anymore, that as they wear out, it would cost me a lot of money to replace them. Okay. I have one dongle that costs as much as this whole brick. So I'm thinking, I can give it more lifespan by just using this, right? And then only use that as required. I have other dongles not quite so expensive as this brick, but, you know, still, it's the replacement thing, and it's the time waiting, right, to get it in from Amazon or wherever I buy it from, or, you know, even, you know, spending the gas money to go back down to Best Buy and get another dongle when it wears out. This thing, all the ports are here. You just plug stuff in and away you go. The only dongle I would probably recommend always carrying with you is one of those Type-C hubs that have a boatload of extra ports. Okay, they're actually quite handy to have, and I have one and I love it. But now I won't need it even in the house because everything's taken care of from this now. So, but if I am in a situation where I'm going somewhere and I need to bring this, I'll also bring that hub dongle just in case I want to actually use that hub on, say, my iPad and do some stuff on that. Well, I've got all these other ports filled up with my computer and transferring data from that stuff and so on. So it does help to actually have that one kind of a hub with you, but it saves on all these individual dongles too. So that's a benefit. Now, it does come with a USB-C to USB-C cable. If you have a lightning port or a micro SD port, you are going to need the appropriate conversion cable to go from USB to that type of a plug-in. That's on you. At least they gave us C to C, which is definitely what you're going to need for your newer MacBooks for sure, because that's how they charge, that's how they transfer data and so on. The newer iPads are all Type-C now. The phones are still Lightning. And I do have a Type-C to Lightning conversion cable already for my iPhone 12 mini, which will also, that same cable will work with any phone and including my older iPads that have Lightning on the one end. So I can still use this with Type-C to Lightning and still accomplish all the exact same tasks. So even on the older iPads that are still under Lightning, all the phones that are under Lightning. If you have the Type-C to Lightning cable adapter, you're fine, that cable, and then you can still make use of the HDMI out to a 4K, up to a 4K display or projector or, you know, screen behind me, whatever, okay? And then you still have this port available, so you don't need a dongle. You just plug the sucker in, transfer your data back and forth from your phone, your tablet, what have you, your computer. It makes life so much more convenient. And for computers that don't have a Type A, now you do, via plugging in your charge system here from that computer in through here, and you'll be okay. So technology is awesome, guys. So that's what I've got for you. That's my thoughts and feelings. I think it's overall a fantastic product. But like I said, it gets a 4 out of 5, and I really would like to see the company take 1/8 of an inch off the top here. And if they need to compensate this because of that, then do so. Make everybody's lives all around the world a lot simpler and easier, and without the frustration of having to get at these little forks to pop them out so I can plug it in the wall. Okay, that would definitely be a massive improvement. It's the only real improvement I could see being needed on this, because even the instructions are quite clear. So I mean, they're kind of screw-up proof, guys. But anyway, check the link below if you want to buy it. That's the Amazon link. If I get an alternate link from the company I've done this review for, then I will also supply that link at that time. I'll have to edit, you know, the little box down below. Otherwise, feel free to leave your comments. Let me know what you thought about this. Okay? And we'll just continue on and see you in the next one.